Writing. Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today's story is one that is shaking the foundations of local governance in South Africa, raising serious and uncomfortable questions about corruption, political interference, and whether public institutions are truly serving the people or being captured by powerful interests behind the scenes. We're talking about explosive evidence presented at the Madlanga Commission, where serious allegations have surfaced against Umisha Dlamini, the Deputy Chief of the Tshwane Metro Police Department. According to testimony heard during the proceedings, Dlamini allegedly played a role in favoring certain companies for lucrative municipal contracts. But this is where things take a dramatic turn. Witnesses have claimed that Dlamini compiled a list of 7 specific companies that were to be prioritized when awarding contracts. And even more concerning, it is alleged that this list was not just his own idea, but that he was instructed to prioritize these companies by individuals linked to the economic freedom fighters, widely known as the EFF. Now just pause and think about that for a second. If true, this would suggest direct political interference in municipal procurement processes, something that is strictly prohibited and deeply damaging to the principles of fairness, transparency, and accountability. Let's break this down further so you fully understand what's at stake. The Madlanga Commission was established to investigate serious allegations of corruption, maladministration, and irregular procurement practices. In simple terms, it is trying to uncover whether public funds are being used properly or whether they are being manipulated for private or political gain. And what's coming out of this commission is deeply concerning. Testimony suggests that these 7 companies may have received preferential treatment over others. That means instead of contracts being awarded based on merit, cost-effectiveness, and capability, decisions may have been influenced by political connections. And when that happens, the consequences are far-reaching. It affects service delivery. It affects infrastructure development. It affects the quality of work being done. And most importantly, it affects ordinary citizens who rely on municipalities for basic services like roads, water, electricity, and public safety. Now let's talk about Umisha Dlamini's position in all of this. As Deputy Chief of the Tshwane Metro Police Department, Dlamini is not just any official. This is a senior figure in law enforcement, someone expected to uphold integrity, enforce the law, and act in the best interests of the public. So when allegations like this emerge, they are taken very seriously. At this stage, Dlamini has not publicly responded to the claims. However, he is expected to be questioned as the commission continues its hearings. And that questioning could reveal even more details about what really happened behind closed doors. Legal experts are already warning that if these allegations are proven, the consequences could be severe. We're talking about possible violations of municipal procurement laws, abuse of office, and even corruption charges. These are not minor infractions, they are serious offenses that could lead to disciplinary action, dismissal, or even criminal prosecution. But the story doesn't end there. The alleged involvement of the economic freedom fighters adds another layer of tension and controversy. While the party has not officially commented on the matter, the mere suggestion that a political organization may have influenced contract allocations is enough to spark national debate. Because here's the reality. Municipal procurement processes are supposed to be independent of political influence. They are designed to ensure that contracts are awarded fairly and that taxpayers' money is used responsibly. So when politics enters the equation, it raises serious concerns. Political analysts are now saying that if these claims are substantiated, it could have wider implications, not just for Tshwane, but for municipalities across the country. Why? Because it may point to a pattern. And that's exactly what makes this situation even more alarming. The Madlanga Commission has reportedly heard similar allegations in other cases, suggesting that this may not be an isolated incident. Instead, it could be part of a broader system where tenders are influenced, manipulated, or even controlled by networks of power. And if that's true, then the problem is much bigger than one individual or one municipality. It becomes a national issue. Now let's talk about the impact on the public. When contracts are awarded unfairly, it often leads to poor service delivery. Projects may be delayed. Costs may increase. Quality may suffer. And in many cases, communities are left without the services they desperately need. This is why procurement integrity is so important. It's not just about paperwork or procedures, it's about real-world outcomes that affect people's lives. And that's why civil society groups are now calling for urgent action. They are demanding transparency. They are demanding accountability. And they are demanding that those found guilty of wrongdoing face real consequences. Because without accountability, trust is eroded. And once trust is lost, it becomes very difficult to rebuild. Another important aspect of this story is the role of whistleblowers and witnesses. The individuals who come forward with information in cases like this often take significant personal risks. They may face intimidation, pressure, or even threats. That's why protecting these individuals is critical. Without their courage, many of these issues would never come to light. Now let's consider what could happen next. If the Commission finds credible evidence to support these claims, the matter could be referred to law enforcement agencies for further investigation. This could lead to criminal charges, court cases, and possibly convictions. It could also lead to internal disciplinary processes within the Tshwane Metro Police Department and other institutions involved. And beyond that, it could trigger reforms. There may be calls to strengthen procurement systems, improve oversight, and introduce stricter controls to prevent similar incidents in the future. Because clearly, something is not working. Now, there's also the political dimension to consider. If the EFF is found to have played a role in influencing contracts, it could have significant political consequences. It could affect public perception, voter confidence, and the party standing in future elections. But at this stage, it's important to remember that these are allegations, and they still need to be tested and verified through proper legal processes. We will continue to follow this story closely and bring you updates as new information becomes available. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss any of our updates. And we want to hear from you. What do you think about these allegations? Do you believe there is political interference in municipal contracts? Or do you think more evidence is needed before conclusions can be drawn? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below and let's start a conversation. Thank you for watching. Stay informed, stay aware, and stay engaged. See you next time.